It was. Since I was very young, I imagined a world in which humans and dinosaurs coexisted and had to interact with each other. And Jurassic Park was that world to a certain extent, but we were only seeing them in the context of animals in zoos and animals in a natural preserve. And so this movie just blew open the window and all the opportunities that we had to really explore what it would be like if these animals existed with us today. Just very carefully, very, very thoughtfully, and with the collaboration of all of our actors, Laura Dern and Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum and Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard. All of them understood their characters that they've been playing now for such a long time, and they had places they want to see them land, to feel that we left them in the right place to be satisfying for fans. So I think that was the thing I thought about the most, is how do we make sure people leave this feeling like they know all of their favorite characters are gonna be okay.
The relationship between the two of us has really evolved, and the characters have evolved. I think especially probably Claire. I think Claire has made the biggest leap from who she was in the first.
Where she could barely hug her nephews.
Yeah.
And now she's a mama bear.
Yeah, so that's a big evolution. I think Owen, I'm not sure that he's evolved as much as his love and devotion for the woman in his life has, that relationship in his life has evolved. So in that regard, he's evolved as well. He's now a father. They're taking care of Maisie and seeing her as their responsibility, trying to keep her safe. And so, yeah, he's grown up a little bit. I think he's maybe more refined and has obligations that he didn't have before.
He just gets handsomer and handsomer.
Oh.
Owen is amazing like that, Yes, so there are many, 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 many dinosaurs all around the world, and this is one of the first movies of the franchise like that. Before this point, it's been pretty, with only a couple of exceptions, it's been pretty isolated to the island, and now dinosaurs are everywhere. And in addition to that, there's the joy of the fact that this is not only the conclusion of Jurassic World, this is the conclusion of Jurassic Park. And those two stories are being interwoven so beautifully by Colin Trevorrow, the filmmaker. And so it's honestly, it's a spectacle beyond anything that we've experienced in Jurassic thus far.
True.
Because we are off the island, because there are multiple storylines. It's absolutely thrilling, and I'm so proud of this movie.
No, uncharted territory. I know if somebody had told me in 1993, this movie with Steven Spielberg, booked by Michael Crichton, and these new dinosaurs coming to life in a new way, might turn out pretty well. Well, I could imagine that. It's going to be very popular, maybe, but I don't know if I would have anticipated it being as popular as it was. And then giving birth to the evolution of 5 other movies, a couple of which I will appear in. No, I certainly wouldn't have imagined that. And then 30 years later, you'll do this grand finale. No. That would have seemed wildly improbable, but I'm so happy. And in Spain, are we talking to all the people who might see it in Spain? I love Spain. I did a movie or two there. And Fernando Trueba, do you know Fernando Trueba? Hello, Fernando, and all your fans and family. Geez, I love you so much. And, I did something with Fernando recently. I did a voice in a movie that he's cooking up now that I think is going to be special. That's all I'll say about it. I don't want to ruin it, but I love all of you. Amazing. Well, I adore them. They're our two of our greatest actors and screen artists, and two spectacular people whom I wouldn't be the same without. My whole life was changed by knowing the both of them. Well, it's been great for me. He meant, a portal into a creative landmark experience for me with the great Mr. Steven Spielberg, cinematic giant and genius. Those were very nourishing, educational, and life-changing moments and experiences. And with Laura and Sam, of course, and then these movies that appealed in such a big way to so many people all over the world have, that fact has enhanced my life terrifically. When people come up to me all over the world and say, my kids have seen it many, many times, and we keep watching it, and this is why I loved it. That's just delightful to me, and it's really, really sweet and a big deal. And then, career-wise, so to speak, I think it had an impact.
I love her. I don't think I've played a character that I don't love immensely, but it's a very special experience to be able to build a new hero. I got to be a part of the construction, of a new hero, and that's a big deal. And something that I never forget. There was a moment that was supposed to be Kayla's first moment on screen, and you could kind of feel the crew like holding their breath. Like everyone on set was invested, in the success of Kayla, and it was a really moving experience to have that kind of support. It's in the books. It's in the books, marginalized communities, women, people of color, like it's in the source material, and it makes the difference to be part of a franchise where it was always built that way. It's not something that's like put on or forced or contrived. It's like, no, it's been from the like DNA, if you will, of the franchise itself.
He's just hyper-driven, hyper-focused, young, and very much an intellectual. But at the core of him, he's... That's as obvious because I don't want to spoil anything, but... Yeah, at the core of him, he is always going to do what he feels like is the right thing to do. Beyond cool. It was so exciting. I was a fan of their work individually, but I was introduced to them through Jurassic Park from the first one, and to work with them as those characters that they play was nerve-wracking, but ultimately so rewarding, and I feel like I made some really great friends as a result.